And for example, these guys are super in the mood of expensive, a lot of money, and that it's something that I feel that right now it's so popular in social media, like people that they make a lot of money, but they spend too because it helps to grow. Mm-hmm. And we have other kind of people like other kind of YouTubers that they don't spend anything and they invest all. In which category are you in?
Well, because of what I told you before, because I went broke when I first started making money, once I started to make money again, I had a very scarce mindset. I was very scared to spend money. So instead of moving into an expensive apartment in Miami, I moved to the little tiniest $2,000 a month apartment, which might sound like a lot, but $2,000 a month in Miami is like a 1-bedroom shack. So I lived there for a long time. I didn't upgrade my car. I kept the same car. I just tried to make as much as I possibly could, invest as much as I possibly could. The biggest expense that I had when I first started making money was I bought my mom a new truck. But even that, I tried to keep it light. Until I had multiple millions of dollars to my name, I didn't really start balling out crazy. But around, I would say like 2 years ago, I started to spend a little bit more of my money. But still to this day, I don't spend, I guess, well, depends on what you consider crazy, but like I don't always spend crazy. Over the summer, we went crazy. I think I just looked at the other day, we spent like $100,000 just for like 3-4 weeks of traveling. And that's not counting everything. That's just for the basics. I just bought a supercar as well. It's coming to my house tomorrow, I think. I got a bunch of watches. I got like, I don't know, $500,000 of watches. It just, now I spend money, but it's all relative to what I make. Like it's such a small percentage of what I make, the material stuff that I own, that it doesn't really make an impact. I also bought 2 houses this year. Mm-hmm. So that was also
for investing.
Actually 2 are for investments. And then I have a third one, which is my mom's house, but I don't really, I guess I count that, but that's like an expense every month. But I own 2 properties now that we are making money with from renting.
Amazing. And do you invest? You have your own portfolio?
Yeah, so I invest in crypto. I obviously invest in stocks for a super long time, mainly mutual funds. I like Graham Stephan's approach to it all. It's super easy and it's very boring. But of course, the individual stocks is fun. I got money market accounts where I earn interest every single month. When you start to get a good amount of money, what you do is put your money in a bunch of different little buckets. But yeah, have the real estate, have the crypto portfolio, which has been going crazy this year. This was the first year that I made over $1 million in profit with crypto. And that's a good feeling.
And I'm sure that a lot of millionaires told you that the best investment is investing in yourself, in your business. But I feel that when you have a YouTube business, it's hard to invest more in your business. For example, for you, if you want to invest $1 million in your YouTube business, it's impossible. Or do you find a way to do it?
The best way you could invest in a business like this is making crazier video ideas or building a bigger team. Like what we could do is hire more people for distribution and have a bunch of editors and people run around doing clips. There's many ways you could scale it, but for me, we keep it pretty lean. I don't have a huge YouTube team. I have head of content, editor, thumbnail guy. We have like 3 or 4 people on distribution. It's not like an 80-person squad, you know?
Mm-hmm. How are you approaching the distribution stuff? Because I think that it's trendy, like it's something new, the redistribution. How do you approach that?
Yeah, for me, I haven't had as much success as some of my peers with that. And I still feel like I'm figuring out that side of my channel. As of now, we're getting like 2-3 million views a week, which is good, but I know that there's another level to reach. So for me, the way I just do it is I have my couple guys go and take clips from my existing videos. Sometimes we'll record other stuff like sound bites. We send them all the footage from my phone. Like we always filming and stuff on trips. So they just have all this footage and we give them free reign to go and post it across a couple different accounts. Yeah, I don't see a crazy ROI from this though. Like I see new viewership and more fame, I guess. Like people will come up to me on the street and instead of saying you're the YouTube guy, they'll say like, oh, you're the TikToker. I'm like, well, I never made a TikTok in my life, but it's okay. I don't mind. But I'm not seeing like a direct, like, wow, this is such a great return on investment. You know, it's just like a great way to look at it is like a billboard, you know, like when you're driving down the freeway and you see a billboard for a company, you might not remember the company, but if you drive past that billboard enough times, eventually it'll stick into your brain. And then you might reach out or look into that company some more. I look at the short form stuff the exact same way, because if you watch some reels today, I know you don't remember all of the reels that you watched. Maybe you don't even remember a single one. But if you see me on your reels enough over and over again, you might want to say, who is this guy? Let me see what he's all about. Yeah.
And how's your routine? Do you have like an entrepreneur routine, or it's more free?
It's pretty free. I have a simple life, but there's non-negotiables in my day. And one thing for certain is every day I try to train. So I like to do workouts at my house, like calisthenics. I like to do kickboxing every single night. But usually I wake up around like 8, get up, go downstairs, have some water with electrolytes, go for a walk around my neighborhood, come home, get some coffee, sit at the desk and work for a couple hours, work out. This is everything I did today. So I'm just talking through my whole day. I work out. I went to do some meetings with my team, got a haircut, ate some food, came here. After here, I'll go kickboxing and then go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So easy life, and not like the typical entrepreneur routine that we can see in YouTube, like wake up super early and work a lot and then like all schedule it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're broke and you're just getting started in your journey, I feel like you're better off doing that, because I, in the beginning, didn't do this like 5 a.m. crazy routine, but don't get it wrong. I was up almost every day at 7:30. I was really like dialed in every aspect of my life. And I do believe that that's a big reason why I was able to get things off the ground. As a beginner, like there's no excuse. Like you have to be doing those things, but don't just do those things and expect that to make you money. You still got to show up and do the work. But yeah, I mean, you got to find what works for you as well. Like these crazy routines is not for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I agree, because I listened to Iman that told something similar, that he's in the videos like doing crazy stuff, but he's doing that because he did the other thing. So you can't start with the crazy stuff if you didn't do the work.
Yeah.
So you have to see the real way.
One of my favorite things Iman ever said is, don't compare yourself to who I am today. Compare yourself to who I was 4 or 5 years ago, because it makes no sense for you to look at everything that I'm doing right now. It doesn't make sense for you to invest $250,000 into building a new software. It doesn't make sense for you to try to sell a company. It doesn't make sense for you to try to make a viral video doing interviews. What you should go look at is what I was doing 6, 7 years ago, when I was just trying to figure out this game with a couple $1,000s to my name. That's the version that you should study, because that's who you are now, and you can take the most from him. That kid was waking up pretty much every day around 7:30. He would go work out. He would come home, literally do nothing but watch YouTube videos of e-commerce people and try his best to figure it out. Spend my whole day in communities of other dropshipping people. Spend my nights locked in working on the business all day, and then get into bed and read a book about how to make money until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. You know, that's a little bit more comparable to where most people are at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. And how did your life change between this moment and right now that you have money, you have power, you have fame? Did you feel like a big change in your life, that maybe you get crazy or something like that with all these things?
It is crazy, bro. My life today is completely unrecognizable from what it was years ago. But the whole change is so gradual, and it happens brick by brick by brick, that you don't even really notice that it's happening until some moments come around and you look at your life and you say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is my reality. Buying my mom her dream house and seeing her come in there and cry her eyes out and get to move out of the neighborhood that we grew up in, that's one of those moments. Tomorrow, when my McLaren gets delivered to my front door and I paid for the whole car in cash, and I used to drive a Toyota that cost me $500, those are the moments when you're like, wow, this is crazy. But then guess what? That house that she lives in, that's just her house. This car that I'm getting, that's just my car. And then it all just becomes normal again. But there are moments where you look and you're like, I can't believe that this is my life. And then there's other days where you're like, I want more.
Yes, you always want more and more and more.
Yeah.